My beloved child, today I call you to listen to my voice, for there are weighty matters you must come to know in your journey through life. Your body, your soul, and even your mind have endured many seasons of trial, and at times you have thought that all that remains is weariness. But I tell you this, within that very weariness, a new beginning is being formed. Do not think that your weakness is a sign of failure, for it is there that I will reveal my power and my mercy. The world may look at you and conclude that you are broken, but I see the seed of life beginning to sprout. You are not abandoned, nor are you defined by what human eyes perceive. You were born with a purpose, and until that purpose is fulfilled, no power can destroy it. Remember, you are not only a mortal body, but also an eternal soul. The body may grow weary, yet the soul will be upheld by me, as it is written, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Psalm 2:3-1. This means that even when outward strength is drained, the inner wellspring of life continues to flow through my unfailing love. I speak so that you may know weakness of the flesh is not the end, but an invitation to step deeper into communion with me. You do not have to struggle alone, for I am with you, guiding you step by step, even when you think there is no way out. My child, the world in which you live is filled with imperfection. The food you eat, the air you breathe, the hurried rhythm around you all contribute to the wearing down of the body I have given you. Yet do not be afraid. I allow you to recognize this, not so that you may sink into anxiety, but that you may learn to return to me, the source of life. The signals you feel in your body are not betrayals. They are whispers calling you to change, to reconsider the way you are walking. I want you to know that these warnings are in fact an opportunity to be renewed, so that you will not miss the greater blessing I am preparing. Perhaps you have asked many times, "Why me? Why must I endure this pain?" I have heard you, and I have not turned away. The answer does not lie in punishment, but in the greater purpose I have set for you. Think back to the times you have stumbled before. Was it not those very experiences that shaped you into someone stronger, gentler, and more compassionate? So it is now. This trial is not meant to destroy you, but to refine you, to purify you, to prepare the way for lasting blessing. You will come to see that through these difficult days, your heart will learn to love more deeply. Your eyes will behold the true worth of every moment, and your spirit will grow stronger than any strength the body could give. My child, do not overlook the value of the present moment. The world often teaches you to run to chase after glittering things, but it rarely invites you to pause and breathe in the life I am giving you right now. I want you to learn how to live fully in each moment. When the morning sun shines upon you, it is a reminder that I still keep you. When the breeze brushes by, it is the breath of love I send to you. When you hear the song of birds, it is my melody encouraging you that hope still remains. All of creation is singing to you that you are not alone. Even when your body shows signs of weakness, I continue sending countless signals to remind you that you are wrapped in my love. I do not deny that there will be hard days. You will feel your body betray your expectations, your mind weighed down, and your emotions easily unsettled. But remember, those days do not define you. What defines you is my hand upholding you. You belong to me, and I will never abandon you. As it is written, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you go through the rivers, they will not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. Isaiah 4:3-2. This very promise will be the foundation on which you walk in peace, even in the midst of adversity. My child, this journey is not only about the healing of the body, it is also a journey of discovering the true value of life. You will learn that strength does not come from muscles, but from faith, that life is not measured by the number of years, but by the meaning you leave behind. And even when those around you do not understand, when they look at you with pity, I see you as a warrior being forged in the fire. You will become a living testimony for others that my love surpasses pain and that hope can rise even in the darkest night. So then do not lose heart. I declare to you, this is not the end, but the unfolding of a new chapter. This journey will bring you closer to me than ever before, and with every step you will come to realize that you have never been alone. I want you to hold firmly to this promise as to an unshakable anchor, so that when storms arise, your heart will remain at peace. You will see that even in your weakness, my glorious light will shine the brightest. My beloved child, as I speak these words, I know your heart still wrestles with many uncertainties. You hear about the frailty of the body, and you feel fear, but I tell you this, that fear is not your destiny. It is only a fleeting shadow, while the light I give you will never fade through all eternity. Fear comes to make you doubt, but faith will lift you higher. You do not need to grasp every detail. It is enough to hold to this one truth: I am still with you. Do not let the noise of the world or the panic of your own thoughts drown out my voice. Open your heart and let my love soothe the trembling places within you. In your weakest moments, you often think you are alone. But I have placed around you many things to uphold you, people who will speak encouragement, circumstances that seem adverse, yet open doors to opportunity, and my very unseen presence covering you. Look back. How many times did you think you had reached your limit, only to find new strength rising as though someone had lifted you up? That was me, my child. I have never ceased to carry you. If I have sustained you through the years gone by, will I not also sustain you now and in the days to come, my child? I want you to learn this vital truth. Life is not measured only by the health of the body, but by the extent to which you let light flow through your life. A person may be strong in body yet withered in soul, but you, even in the face of hardship, can become a refreshing spring to many others. I say to you, the body is but a vessel, finite and fragile, but the soul is eternal. If you tend to your spirit, then even when your flesh is weary, you will still walk in joy, and that joy itself will bring forth new strength even to your body. The world often exalts outward appearances, youth, beauty, strength. Yet I want you to see that these things are fleeting, while true worth lies in the love, patience, and kindness you leave behind. One day, those who look at you will no longer remember how beautiful you were or how strong you seemed, but they will remember that you loved them, encouraged them, and helped them walk through their darkest days. That is the inheritance you carry into eternity. My child, do not measure yourself by the frailty of your body, but look instead to the greater purpose I am shaping within your soul. I know there are times when you sigh and feel these pains are too much to bear. But think of the seed buried deep in the earth. It must endure darkness, pressure, and decay before the tender shoot reaches upward to the light. So it is with you, my beloved. What you are enduring is not the end, but the preparation for new life to spring forth. Do not think that I delight in your suffering, but know that through it your soul is being enlarged, and my light will shine more brightly. Remember this, I am no stranger to suffering. My son endured physical pain, betrayal, and the depths of loneliness. He knew what it was to sweat drops of blood, to cry out in the darkness of night. And because he has walked that road, he is now with you in every moment of pain. You are not alone in your suffering, for the one who loves you with an everlasting love stands right beside you. You may whisper through your tears, and he understands more deeply than anyone else ever could. My child, I call you not to dwell only on what is lost, but to lift your eyes to what is being built. Your body may grow weak, but your faith can grow strong. The limitations you face can become the very starting point for miracles. I am not bound by medicine, nor am I bound by time. I may heal instantly, or I may grant you the strength to endure day by day. In either case, the outcome will be blessing for you and for those who witness your journey. My child, there are many things the world calls failure, but in my eyes they are victories. When you choose forgiveness over resentment, when you choose love over bitterness, when you choose hope over despair, this is when you triumph. Such victories may never appear in the headlines, but heaven rejoices, for you are reflecting my very nature. And it is these victories that move even the hearts of those who have never believed, compelling them to confess that a mighty God is present in your life. Therefore, my child, do not let circumstances discourage you. Instead, let them become the catalyst for your faith. You may collapse in tears, but remember that every tear is kept by me. You may tremble in anxiety, yet allow that anxiety to become a prayer. You may feel lonely, but open your eyes to see that I am present in every small detail. Every ray of sunlight, every breeze, every heartbeat, they are all proof that I still hold your life in my hands. My child, let your heart rest in this truth. I will never forsake you. You are not a burden to me. You are my delight, my treasure, the living testimony of my love. Even if your body grows weak, you are still a marvelous creation in my eyes. I have written your name on the palm of my hand, and no power can erase it. Therefore walk in peace, for your future lies within my hand, the hand that is mighty, merciful, and never lets go. My beloved, now, I want you to listen carefully, for what I say next will become the key that opens an entirely new chapter in your journey. For many years you have lived under the constant weight of responsibilities, worries, and quiet exhaustion. You have told yourself that you only need to push a little harder, and then everything will be fine. But the truth is, you have neglected the very temple I placed within you. You have forgotten that your body is not merely a vessel to survive in, but a vital part of your sacred calling. When you ignore it, balance begins to break, and your body speaks through signs you often dismiss. But today I declare to you, it is time to awaken. Do not see those signs as enemies. They are gentle reminders that you need to return to the order I have designed. The rhythm of your life must include rest, nourishment, movement, and spiritual stillness. If any of these is neglected for too long, the whole system falls into disorder. I do not say this to condemn you, but to show you that there is a better way. A way in which you do not merely hold on to get through the day, but truly live abundantly, live to the fullest. My child, imagine life as a garden. If you leave it unattended, weeds will grow, the soil will harden, and the fruits will wither. But if you patiently plant, water, and uproot what does not belong, the garden will flourish with life. So it is with your body and soul. When you sow care, discipline, and gratitude into them, the harvest will be strength, peace, and complete joy. But if you sow neglect, stagnation, and unresolved tension, you will reap only exhaustion. I want you to understand this principle clearly, for it is the foundation of your journey of healing and renewal. Do not let the past hold you back. Perhaps you once made mistakes in caring for yourself, living in haste, neglecting the call to rest. But today, I give you a new opportunity. You are not bound by former errors. Every new day is a blank page, and I desire for you to write upon it with wisdom, with faith, and with sound decisions. When you choose to return, I will walk with you. Not a single step you take will be wasted, for even the smallest effort has value in my eyes. My child, I know there are moments when you feel the path of change is too hard. You fear you will not have the strength, that once again you will falter. But hear me, I have not called you to walk alone. I have placed within you a strength greater than you imagine, and I have set around you people who can uphold you, encourage you, and lift you when you stumble. You only need to begin to say yes to my leading, and you will see each step grow lighter. I do not demand perfection, only faithfulness. Do not compare yourself with others. You may look at those who appear strong, energetic, never seeming to weaken, and you feel lesser in their shadow. But I declare to you, your journey is unique. I have a plan set apart for you, and what I am working within you will become a living testimony to many. Your weakness is not the end, but an opportunity for my power to be revealed. Let your life story stand as a witness that even in trial light can still shine brightly. My beloved, remember this. Everything that happens rests under my authority. Not a single cell in your body escapes my sight. Not one tear falls without being kept by me. I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb, and I have ordained the days of your life. Nothing you face is outside of my will, and all things will work together for your good. Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow. Live fully today. Do what you can with a faithful heart, and entrust the rest into my hands. This is my promise to you. If you place your trust in me, you will never be disappointed. You will be reminded again and again that hope in me never runs dry. Even as your body grows weaker, your soul can still rise in a song of praise. And that song will move hearts, carrying light into places of darkness. Do not be surprised when you find that in the very moments you feel least worthy, I use you most powerfully. So then, my beloved child, rise with renewed faith. Embrace this journey as an opportunity to know me more deeply, to love others more fully, and to cherish each day you are given. Care for your body as an act of worship. Nourish your soul with my word. Let your heart overflow with gratitude, and you will witness a wondrous transformation taking place not only in your body but in your spirit, in your relationships, and in your entire life. Remember this is only the beginning. The road ahead is still long, and I will walk with you. Do not be anxious about how strong you must be, for your strength rests in me. Let me carry the burdens. Let me guide each step. You will never be alone, for I have promised, and I keep my promise forever. My child, believe, walk forward, and let your life become a shining light in this world of darkness. Beloved child, I want you to understand that every true change begins within. The world often urges you to seek solutions outside medicines, methods, new lifestyles. These may help, but if your spirit is not renewed, that change will only be temporary. I tell you, the true foundation lies within, where your soul abides, where you choose faith, where you decide how you will live amid trials. When the soul is transformed, the body too will partake in that renewal. Remember, I did not create you to live bound in fear, but to walk in freedom. Perhaps you have grown accustomed to seeing your body as a burden or as a machine to be driven until it breaks down. But my child, I formed your body with wisdom and love. It was fashioned with marvelous systems, every heartbeat, every breath, every cell bearing the imprint of the life I have given. When you neglect or mistreat your body, it is as if you squander the precious gift I entrusted to you. Yet when you learn to honor it, to care for it, to nurture it, then your body becomes a powerful instrument for fulfilling my purpose on earth. My child, remember this. The body is temporary, but what you do with it carries eternal value. I do not call you to worship it, but I desire you to steward it wisely, for within this very temple, my spirit dwells. See your eating, resting, and moving not merely as physical needs, but as acts of worship. When you choose health over convenience, when you choose rest over relentless toil, when you choose movement over stagnation, each choice is a declaration that you honor the life I have given you. My child, I know you have felt so weary that every change seemed impossible. You told yourself, I no longer have the strength to begin again. But I declare to you, you do not need your own strength to start over, for I, myself, am the source of your strength. Think of a river. It begins as a small spring, yet grows steadily, becoming mighty and vast. You are the same. All it takes is a small beginning, a decisive choice, a faithful step, and I will do the rest. You do not need to see the entire journey, only the next step, and walk it in faith. My child, the renewal I desire for you is not only the healing of your physical wounds, but also the restoration of a heart filled with gratitude. Gratitude is the key that unlocks peace. When you learn to give thanks, even for the smallest things, a breath, a meal, a smile, a night's rest, your heart will begin to fill with light, and that light will drive away the shadows of worry, bitterness, and doubt. The more thankful you are, the more reasons you will see to rejoice, and that joy itself will become new strength. There will be days when it feels hard to lift a word of thanks. You will ask yourself, how can I be grateful when my body is weary and my circumstances still press in on me? But remember, my child, gratitude is not because of circumstances, it is because of me, the one who is always with you. Gratitude does not deny the pain, but sees my hand sustaining you through it. Gratitude is the declaration that you trust in a greater plan you cannot yet fully see. And when you live in that posture, you will find peace beginning to flow, even if nothing around you has yet changed. My child, do not think of renewal as a burden. It is not a long list of tasks to accomplish, but a journey of daily steps and small choices. I do not call you to change everything overnight, but I do call you to be faithful in the little things. If you choose to rest an extra hour, if you choose a healthier meal, if you choose to step outside and breathe in the fresh air, these are acts of renewal. And when these small choices come together, they will create a great transformation. My child, I call you to see yourself through my eyes. Do not look at your exhaustion and despair, but look at your capacity for renewal. Do not focus on the limits that bind you, but look at My powerful hand, the hand that can bring forth creation out of nothing. Can it not also restore what is broken? When you learn to see through the eyes of faith, you will realize that no situation is too late, no wound too deep, no dream too far gone. All can be restored when you place them in my hands. Therefore, my beloved child, open your heart to renewal. Do not resist, and do not cling to the old habits. Trust that what I prepare is always better than what you are holding on to. Be courageous enough to step out of your comfort zone, for only then will you begin to see the greater picture. I promise you, when you place your trust in me, your journey will no longer be a lonely struggle, but a companionship filled with grace. And along that journey you will come to realize that the most precious thing is not a perfect body, but a heart transformed, overflowing with faith, hope, and love. My beloved child, I know that to begin a new journey you must confront those deep-rooted habits that have long shaped your life. They are like invisible cords that hold you back in the familiar comfort zone, even though you know it no longer gives you life. You have become accustomed to seeking comfort in fleeting things, a hurried meal, a sleepless night a day spent racing after endless responsibilities. Many times you have thought, I will change later, but my child, later has always been just an excuse for delay. I declare to you, today is the moment to begin. Not tomorrow, not at some other time, but right now, in this very moment, as you are listening to my voice. Understand this. My child, renewal does not come only through great leaps, but through small, persistent steps. When you wake a little earlier to breathe in the dawn, when you set aside quiet moments to converse with me, when you choose forgiveness instead of clinging to resentment, these are the very things that transform your whole being. And just as a river begins with the smallest drops of water, so too will you see your life gradually renewed. I do not demand perfection from you, but I invite you to be faithful day by day. Look around, my child, this world is full of haste. People rush to achieve more, to prove themselves, to avoid being left behind. But I do not call you to be swept along in that current. I call you to walk in the rhythm of heaven, the rhythm of peace, of rest, of trust. When you learn to release the pressure of having to prove yourself, you will discover true freedom. That freedom is not a careless life, but a life lived in balance, knowing your limits and discerning what truly deserves your priority. My child, an important part of the journey of renewal is learning how to listen to your own body. It is not a traitor nor an enemy, but a faithful companion. Pain, fatigue, and disorder, all of these are the language your body uses to tell you that something needs attention. Yet time and again you have dismissed it, convincing yourself to just push a little harder. Today I want you to see differently. Consider your body as a mirror reflecting what is happening within your soul. If your mind is weighed down by stress, your body will speak up. If your heart harbors resentment, your body will bear the burden. True healing, therefore, begins from within. I know there are moments when you wonder, what is the use of trying to change? Is it already too late? But I tell you, it is never too late, as long as I am with you. Even when a tree has grown barren, as long as one green shoot remains alive, there is still hope for a new garden. So it is with you. Though your body has endured many wounds, your soul can still rise again, for I am the one who can turn ashes into glory, ruin into a new creation. As long as you do not give up, the door of renewal remains open wide. My child, on this path, focus on progress, not perfection. Every small step holds value. Each wise decision contributes to lasting change. When you choose the right path, even by a single step, you are no longer who you were yesterday. Stop comparing yourself with others, for I have not called you to walk their journey. I have called you to follow the unique road I have laid out for you. And along that road, every effort, no matter how small, is precious in my sight. Do not fear failure, my child. Failure does not define you. It is only a lesson. You may stumble, but every time you rise, you grow stronger. I do not seek perfection in you. I seek a heart that knows how to return. When you acknowledge your weakness and seek me, that is when you are truly strong. It is humility that opens the door to grace, and grace will give you strength beyond what you can imagine. Remember, my child, I do not desire to bring healing only for your sake, but also to use your story to reach others. When they see the transformation in you from despair to hope, from weakness to strength, from bitterness to peace, they will know that a mighty hand is at work. Your life will become a living testimony, a light shining in the darkness. And it is in the very moment you feel of least worth that I will use you most powerfully. So then, my beloved child, do not be afraid of the road that lies ahead. Do not let old memories hold you back. Do not allow the lies of this world to cause you to lose heart. Trust in my word, for I am the one who truly knows you, loves you, and leads you to the destination. Let your heart be wide open, let your steps be firm, and let your soul rise high in faith. Your journey of renewal has already begun, and I promise to walk with you until the very end. My beloved, I want you to know that this journey of renewal is not only for you, but also for those around you. The transformation within your soul and your body will become a lamp, shining for those who still wander in the dark. When you learn to rise from weakness, you yourself will become an encouragement for those who are falling. When you learn to forgive, that very example will help others find freedom from the chains of bitterness. Remember, I do not only desire to heal you so that you may feel stronger. I want to make you a living testimony of my mercy and power. O child, many people will never step inside a church, never open the scriptures, but they will look at your life as though it were an open book. They will see how you respond in hardship, how you walk in peace, even when your body feels weary. And it is in that moment they will ask, "What has given you such strength? Who has brought you such hope?" When they ask, that is the chance for you to point them to me. No lengthy sermons are needed. The very renewal of your life will be the most powerful testimony of all. Do not fear that you are not good enough to bear witness. I do not seek the perfect. I use the humble and the sincere. Your fragility is the very ground upon which my light can shine. When others see that you do not stand by your own strength, yet you remain steadfast, they will recognize that a greater power is with you. And that power will stir their hearts with longing, opening the door for me to enter their lives. Thus, your renewal will not only bring life to you, but it will also become the pathway that leads many others closer to me. My child, I call you to learn how to live with an open heart. Do not close yourself off in fear or pain. Share your story, even if it is unfinished, for even in the process I am still at work. When you speak, others will find resonance, and their hope will be rekindled. Your weakness is not a source of shame, rather it becomes a bridge that allows you to touch the hearts of others. Be courageous, for not a single tear of yours is wasted, and there is no wound that I cannot use to bring blessing to many. Remember, my child, renewal is not a one-time event, but a lifelong journey. There will be days when you feel yourself moving forward, but there will also be days when it seems as though you have returned to the starting line. Do not lose heart because of this. I do not measure you by fleeting failures. I look at your heart. If your heart still turns toward me, then your journey is still on the right path. You may fall 7 times, but if you rise 8 times, you have already triumphed. That perseverance itself is the proof that my grace continues to cover you. My child, when I speak of renewal, I do not only speak of the physical or the mental, but also of how you perceive life as a whole. Too often you have fixed your gaze on what is lacking, on what has not yet met your expectations. But I desire for you to shift your vision to see what I am doing, to recognize blessings, even in the smallest things. When you learn to look upward instead of downward, when you focus on the light rather than the darkness, you will discover that this life is still full of hope. I also want you to learn how to walk in community. Do not think that you must fight alone. I created you as part of one body where each member supports the other. Seek out healthy relationships, people who can pray with you, encourage you, and remind you of truth when you grow weary. Your renewal will become stronger as you walk together with others. And as you connect, you will see that healing does not only happen in solitude, but also in the unity of a loving community. My child, you may think yourself too small to make a difference, but I tell you, even a single candle can drive away the darkness of an entire room. You do not need to have everything to begin. You only need to offer what is already in your hands. I will multiply it, I will expand it, I will turn what seems small into a miracle. And one day as you look back, you will be amazed to see that your journey of renewal has become a seed sprouting in the lives of many others. So then, my beloved child, continue to walk in faith. Treasure every moment and every small step forward. Share the light you have received, for light only truly shines when it is spread. Let the renewal within you become a source of inspiration for the next generation. And when you look back, you will see that the very days which seemed the hardest have become the foundation for a glorious harvest. You are being renewed not only to live a better life, but to become an instrument for my eternal purpose. My dear child, I want you to know that the journey of faith is not a path strewn with roses. Rather, it is a narrow road sometimes, steep, sometimes filled with stones. Your body will feel weary, your mind will waver, and your heart may often want to give up. But child, it is precisely in those moments that true strength is formed. That strength does not come from human willpower, but from your choice to cling to me. When you hold firmly to me, the roots of your faith will grow deep, and no wind will ever be able to sweep you away. Remember this: every great victory is forged in the furnace of trials. No precious gem is found without the digging and refining. No gold is made pure without enduring the fire. So it is with your life, my child. The hardships you are facing are not meant to destroy you, but to refine you so that you may become pure, precious, and radiant in my glory. Do not fear the trials, for they will become your teacher, showing you patience, endurance, and an unshakable faith. My child, many times you have asked, Lord, why do you not take away all the difficulties? But I tell you, if I were to remove every trial, you would never know what true resilience island. If I took away every hardship, you would never understand the essence of real faith. It is because the mountains remain that you learn what strength it takes to climb. It is because the storms still come that you discover the peace I give. And it is because the darkness lingers that you can see the light clearly. I do not allow difficulties to come to destroy you, but so that you may grow and your soul may cling more deeply to the source of life. Child, you are not alone on this journey. All of my warriors have walked through trials. Abraham had to wait many years before the promise was fulfilled. Joseph was sold into slavery before becoming a ruler. David wandered in caves before sitting on the throne, and my beloved Son himself walked the road of suffering, betrayal, and the cross before entering into the glory of resurrection. You see, no one is spared from trials, but all are transformed by them. Therefore, my child, do not lose heart when you face long and weary days. I know there are nights when you lie awake, your pillow wet with tears. I know there are times when you feel as though you are hanging by a single fragile thread. Yet I say to you, even that fragile thread rests in my hand, and I will not allow it to be broken. Even when you think you have nothing left, I remain everything for you. Let this promise be engraved deeply within your heart. God is our refuge and strength, and ever-present help in trouble. Psalm 4:6-1. My child, I want you to learn steadfastness not by human strength, but by trust. To be steadfast does not mean you will never tremble. It means you rise again each time you stumble. It does not mean you are always strong. It means you know how to lean on a strength greater than your own. When you acknowledge your weakness, I will reveal my power. When you surrender, I will lift you up. When you let go of fear, I will fill you with hope. My child, the world teaches you that strength means carrying everything on your own, but I teach you that true strength is entrusting your burdens into my hands. You were not created to bear it all. Your shoulders are not broad enough to carry the weight of the world, but my hands are vast enough to embrace the whole universe, and within that embrace is you. Therefore, give me your burden, and you will find your heart at rest. This is not weakness, this is wisdom. My child, I know there have been many times when you tried with your own strength. You thought that if you worked harder, tried more, disciplined yourself better, everything would be fine. But you grew weary because you forgot that you are not the source of strength. Let me remind you, you were not made to run by yourself. You need the life that flows from me, just as the branch must remain connected to the vine to bear fruit. When you remain in me, you will bear much fruit, peace, joy, patience, love. But when you are apart from me, you will wither quickly. My child, remain in me, and you will endure. My dear one, I promise you that not a single trial is meaningless. Every tear, every pain, every long night, all of it will be used by me to teach you, to refine you, to prepare you for something greater. You cannot see it now, but one day when you look back, you will know that nothing was wasted. Even the moments you thought were losses were in fact the very times I was planting seeds for a harvest beyond measure. Therefore, my beloved child, be steadfast. Do not let your eyes remain fixed upon the pain, but lift them toward the one who is guiding you. Do not let your heart drown in despair, but open it so that hope may flow in. Do not allow your feet to stand still in the darkness, but keep moving forward, for the light is already waiting at the end of the path. Stand firm, for I am with you, and my presence will be the strength that carries you through every trial. My beloved child, I want you to know that trials do not come to break you, but to open the hidden depths of the spirit that you have never touched before. Without pressure, a seed will never sprout. Without the night, you would never see how radiant the dawn can be. In the same way, the hardships you face are opportunities to discover the strength embedded within your own soul, the very strength I placed there from the beginning. You may think yourself too small, too fragile, but I declare that within you lies the seed of endurance, the seed of courage, and the seed of faith. Those seeds are only waiting for the right circumstances to be awakened. My child, change the way you see adversity. Do not regard it as an enemy, but as a test, a classroom. I do not deny that it brings pain, but look closely. Out of pain are born the most precious lessons. When you endure rejection, you learn patience. When you walk through loss, you learn the true value of what remains. When you face sickness, you learn to cherish life. And when you walk through loneliness, you discover the unfailing presence of mine that never leaves. Every facet of trial, my child, can become an instrument to refine your soul. Do not think that steadfastness means never trembling. In truth, steadfastness is when you feel shaken yet still choose to move forward. It is the decision to rise again even when your feet still ache. It is the choice to trust even when your eyes have not yet seen the evidence. That is why I say to you, the righteous shall live by faith. Faith is not built upon feelings, but upon the unchanging truth that I am always faithful. Even when you feel weak, faith can become the strength that sustains you through the day. My child, I know there are questions within your heart that have no answer. You ask yourself why the burden is so heavy upon you while others seem to live with ease. But remember this, each journey is unique. You cannot see the whole picture as I do. I see the destination clearly, while you see only a portion of the road. Therefore, do not compare, do not doubt. Trust that what you are walking through will fulfill the work I have planned. One day you will realize that the very days you thought were meaningless have become the perfect pieces in my eternal design. My child, pause and remember, even in trials, blessings remain. You may think that everything is falling apart, but look more closely. You still have breath. You still have the light of dawn. You still have loved ones by your side. You still have the chance to love, to forgive, to trust. Do not despise the small things, for they are the foundation on which you take your next step. Each time you give thanks, your mind turns away from the darkness, and your heart is filled with a peace that the world cannot take away. My child, I want you to understand that true strength is not the absence of weakness, but the ability to rise above it. When you stumble, I do not turn away. When you cry, I do not rebuke you. When you grow weary, I do not abandon you. On the contrary, I draw near, I embrace, I lift you up. Remember, I am never ashamed of your weakness. I delight to use it as a foundation to reveal my power. When you are small, I become great. When you are exhausted, my grace becomes your strength. My child, keep your eyes fixed on purpose, not on obstacles. If you focus only on hardships, you will feel swallowed up. But if you look to the purpose I have set before you, you will find strength to overcome. Like a long-distance runner, if they focus only on each painful step, they will give up. But when they fix their eyes on the finish line, they discover the will to continue. So it is with your life. Your finish line is not merely physical healing, but spiritual growth, the fulfillment of my will, and when you keep that goal, you will have the courage not to stop halfway. My child, I do not promise that you will never face suffering, but I promise that no suffering will exceed what you can endure when you are in me. I promise that not a single tear of yours is wasted. I promise that all things will work together for your good. This is a firm promise, an anchor for your soul in the storm. Therefore do not fear, but stand firm. When the winds blow strong, sink your roots of faith deep in me. When the storm rises, let me be the anchor that keeps you from drifting. My child, believe that through every trial you are being prepared for a greater glory. Just as a potter shapes the clay, I too am molding you. Every pressure, every pruning, every adjustment, all are shaping you into a beautiful, useful vessel in my hands. You may not enjoy the process, but you will love the result. And when you see the outcome, you will know that every drop of sweat, every wound was worth it. Therefore, my beloved child, keep walking with courage. Let trials make you deeper, stronger, and closer to me. Do not fear the darkness, for my light is always greater. Do not dread hardship, for my grace is always sufficient. Do not lose heart, for you are on the right path. Believe that the destination awaits you, and the reward will far exceed anything you can imagine. Be steadfast, for you are not living only for the present, but being prepared for eternal glory. My beloved child, I speak to you that every trial you are facing today is only temporary, yet the result it produces will carry eternal value. I know you have often pleaded for the burden to be lifted quickly, but believe this. With every day you endure, I am building within you a foundation that no one can shake. Each time you choose to trust instead of fear, each time you lift your eyes upward instead of downward, you are laying another stone upon the foundation of faith. And one day that very house will stand firm in the storm, becoming a refuge for others who are searching for safety. My child, let your heart remember that everything in my hand has its appointed time. There is a season for sowing and a season for reaping, a season for weeping and a season for laughing, a season for trials and a season for blessings. You cannot skip any season, for it is the harmony of them all that makes the journey complete. You are walking through a season of hardship, but do not think it will last forever. I have already set the day of its end, and when that time comes, you will see a new door open, leading you into a different stage filled with blessings. Be patient, for patience is the key that unlocks the promise. Child, when you remain faithful in trials, you are building a legacy. That legacy is not measured by what you possess, but by what you pass on to others. You may not leave behind much wealth, but if you leave an example of steadfastness, of unshakable faith, then you have left behind a treasure beyond price. Think of the generations to come. They will look at your story and be encouraged. They will say, if this person could stand firm, then we can too. And in this way, your life becomes a lighthouse for many generations. My child, I do not say that the path will be easy, but I do say that you will never walk it alone. You may hear the winds howl, you may see the fierce waves, but remember that I am in the boat with you. When my disciples once trembled in the storm, my only son rose, rebuked the wind, and commanded the sea to be still. In the same way, even today, I still hold the power to calm the storm within you. You need only call on me and I will answer. You need only reach out your hand and I will take it. You need only whisper your sorrow and I will hear and comfort you. My beloved, learn to see adversity as an opportunity to experience miracles. Without a raging sea, the disciples would never have known their master could command the storm to cease. Without hunger, my people would never have seen manna fall from heaven. Without hardship, you would never witness my restoring power. Believe this, every closed door will open to a better path. Do not fear loss, for I can turn loss into blessing. Do not fear the darkness, for my light is always stronger. My child, I know there are days when you feel utterly exhausted, when you cannot even find words to pray. In those moments, remember that even silence can become a prayer. I hear your sighs, I see your tears, and I count them as a fragrant offering rising before my throne. You do not always need eloquent words. What I desire is a sincere heart. I draw near to the brokenhearted, and I lift up the humble in spirit. My child, when you choose to stand firm, you are declaring to both heaven and hell that your faith is not defeated. The enemy longs to see you fall, but every time you lift your head, it knows that my power is greater than its schemes. Remember, this victory is not only about overcoming circumstances, but about holding on to faith in the midst of them. When you can still sing in the night, that is victory. When you continue to trust, even before you see the outcome, that is victory. And when you choose to love, even while carrying wounds, that is victory. My child, do not be afraid of the future. I have gone before you and prepared the way. You do not need to know every detail. You only need to know that my hand is guiding you. Even when you walk through the darkest valley, you may lift your head, for the light is waiting at the end of the path. Trials are temporary, but glory is eternal. And this glory is not only for you, it is also for all who look to your life to find hope. Therefore, my beloved child, continue to walk forward with a courageous heart. Do not let old wounds hold you back. Do not let negative voices silence you. Remember that I have placed within you the strength of a conqueror. You were not created to dwell in defeat, but to walk in victory, not a victory built on your own strength, but on my grace. Believe, remain steadfast, keep moving, and you will see every trial turn into a song of praise in your life. My beloved child, I speak to you this truth: ahead of you lies not only challenges, but also radiant hope. I know your human eyes often see only what is near: the pain, the weariness, the flaws, but I call you to look beyond, to lift your eyes and see the greater picture I am painting. You were not born to live forever in shadows. You were created to step into a future filled with light, where every tear will be wiped away and every wound will stand as a testimony of healing. My child, the hope I give is not like the hope of the world. The world places its trust in things that can easily change: wealth, health, status. When those things collapse, their hope is lost. But the hope found in me does not depend on circumstances. It rests on my unchanging nature. I am the one who does not change from generation to generation. Therefore, when you place your hope in me, you will never be disappointed. Even when you cannot see the way ahead, you can trust that I am already preparing the path. Even when every door you knock on is closed, you can be certain that I will open a door no one can shut. My child, I know there are times when you grow so weary that you no longer want to hope. You fear that if you dare to hope again, you will only face disappointment once more. But I say to you, do not fear hope. For hope in me is not an illusion, but a promise that is sure. When I give my word, I keep it. When I speak, nothing can stand in the way. Do not allow the painful experiences of your past to rob you of the hope I am giving you now. Let your faith be renewed, for I have a plan for you, a plan to prosper you and not to harm you, a plan to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 2:9-11. My child, when I speak of hope, I am not only speaking about tomorrow, but also about today. Hope is not reserved only for some distant future. It is the strength that carries you through the present moment. When you have hope, you will find the courage to rise after you fall. When you have hope, you will find joy even in the midst of trials. When you have hope, you will find the strength to forgive, to love, and to begin again. Hope is like breath to the soul. Without it, you wither away, but with it, you come alive, even in the face of many hardships. My child, I want you to know that true hope does not come from trying to think positively, but from placing your trust in my word. My word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. When you are discouraged, return to my promises. When you tremble, let my word strengthen your mind. When you are confused, let my word remind you that I have never abandoned you. Every promise is like a seed of hope, and when you plant them deep within your heart, they will take root, sprout, and bear fruit, bringing forth courage and joy. Lift up your eyes, my beloved child. Do not let them be imprisoned only by sorrow. Fix your gaze on the good that I am doing, even if it seems small. A flower in bloom, a ray of sunlight shining through the window, a word of encouragement from a loved one. All of these are signs that hope still remains. I send them to remind you that darkness does not have the final word. Light is what triumphs. And if you are patient, you will see that light break forth, driving away every shadow from your life. My child, I want you to know that hope carries the power to heal. When your spirit is filled with hope, your body too is renewed. Even human science affirms that faith and hope can transform the very functions of the body. Yet more than this, it is I who breathe new life into you when your heart overflows with hope. Let hope become the medicine for your soul, the fire that warms you in the coldest nights, the wings that lift you above the depths. Remember, my child, hope is not only for yourself. When you carry hope within you, it radiates to others. Many around you are longing for even the faintest glimmer of light, and you are called to bear it. When you smile through your tears, they are strengthened. When you stand firm in the storm, they are reminded that hope is real. And when you speak words of faith, they discover comfort they never knew. You become a sower of hope, and the seeds you plant will bear fruit in many lives. So, my beloved child, do not let go of hope. Hold fast to it as a sailor clings to the anchor in the midst of a storm. Let hope guide you, keep you, and lift you up. Trust that your future has already been written by me in love and grace. And one day you will see that every trial of today was but a stepping stone leading you into a new season, a season of peace, of joy, and of glory that will never fade. My dear one, I declare that hope is not meant to be stored away in your heart like some distant dream, but to be the driving force that moves you forward each day. True hope does not leave you sitting still and waiting. It compels you to rise and to act. When you believe in what I have promised, you will begin to live as though it is already fulfilled. You will speak with assurance, act with confidence, and walk with courage. This is how hope transforms into real strength in your life. Never forget, my child, I do not call you only to dream, but to prepare. Hope is like a seed planted in the soil. If left alone without water and care, it cannot grow. But if you act, nurture, and wait with patience, you will see it flourish and bear fruit. In the same way, the hope within you must be joined with concrete steps, caring for your body, nourishing your mind, strengthening relationships, and above all, tending your spirit. When you live prepared, hope is no longer an idea but a way of life. My child, many have lost hope because they did not see results immediately. But I tell you, be patient. All great things require time. No harvest comes right after the day of sowing. No building is completed in a single night. So it is with your life. The things you hope for today may not yet come to pass, but do not give up. Believe that even in silence I am still at work. Be faithful in the small things, for it is through them that the doors to greater things will be opened. My child, I also want you to understand that hope is not meant only for times of ease and prosperity, but it shines brightest in the darkest moments. When others say there is no chance left, be the one who still holds on to faith. When disappointment surrounds you, let your hope in me be the lamp that lights your path. It is this very difference that will make you an encouragement to many. They will look at you and realize that even in harsh circumstances you did not let go. And they will ask themselves, what keeps this person standing firm? That very question will lead them to me. My child, I know there are times when you think that hope is nothing more than blind optimism. But hope in me is not blind, it is built on a firm foundation. I am the one who created the universe with my word. I am the one who parted the sea for my people to cross. I am the one who raised the dead to life. So tell me, what in your life could possibly surpass my power? Your hope is not vague or uncertain. It rests on the truth that I desire, and I will act on your behalf. My child, when you live in hope, you will begin to see everything with different eyes. Instead of seeing only obstacles, you will see opportunities. Instead of seeing only failure, you will see lessons. Instead of seeing only loss, you will see the space for restoration. That is the power of hope. It changes the lens through which you view life. And when the lens changes, your whole experience changes. You will discover joy even in small things, and you will find strength even in weakness. My child, I call you to turn hope into words, into actions, into habits. Each morning when you wake, declare that you will live with faith and gratitude. When you speak with others, choose words of encouragement rather than complaints. When faced with challenges, choose to act out of faith, not fear. And when the day comes to an end, look back with gratitude for the steps, however small, you have taken. These will make hope come alive, no longer confined to mere thoughts but manifested in life. My child, never forget that I have given you a future. That future is not an endless string of meaningless days, but a path already prepared, filled with purpose. I did not create you to wander aimlessly, but to live with direction, with meaning, and with hope. As you walk under my guidance, you will see that every experience, good or bad, is being woven together into a beautiful tapestry. And in that tapestry, hope is the dominant color, illuminating everything with its radiance. So then, my beloved child, rise up and walk with a living hope. Do not keep it hidden in your heart like a secret, but let it burst forth, shining, spreading wide. Let hope shape every decision, every word, every action. Let it transform you into a lamp set upon a hill, so that all who look may see the light. And as you live this way, not only will your life be renewed, but the world around you will be touched as well. My beloved child, I declare to you that hope is not merely the strength that carries you in the present, but the golden thread woven throughout the entirety of your life's journey. When you hold firmly to hope, you are building a foundation that cannot be shaken, even when the ground beneath your feet trembles. Hope is like a lighthouse in the midnight sea, ever shining to guide you no matter how fierce the storm. You will not lose your way, for that light constantly reminds you that there is a harbor waiting. My child, hope is also the weapon against despair, the enemy's seed sown in your heart to make you give up. When you feel you have no reason to go on, it is hope that will whisper, "There is still a tomorrow." When you want to surrender, hope will remind you, "There is still a promise yet to be fulfilled." And when you think that only darkness remains, hope will show you that a flicker of light still endures. I give you hope, not so you might cling to an illusion, but so you may know that I have already prepared a glorious future. My child, when you persist in holding on to hope, you will witness wondrous changes. First, you will discover peace within your heart. That peace does not come from everything being perfect, but from the faith that I am sovereign. Next, you will find strength in your mind. You will begin to think in new ways, no longer haunted by fear, but filled with thoughts that are positive, constructive, radiant. And then your body, too, will be renewed with energy, for when your soul rejoices, your body is lifted as well. Truly, it is hope that has been and continues to bring about a complete transformation within you. My child, I want you to understand that hope is also a seed to be sown into the lives of others. When you live with hope, you carry it into every word you speak, every glance, every gesture. A word of encouragement, a smile, an embrace, all these can plant in someone's heart the spark they need to go on. You may not fully grasp the extent of your influence, but I do. Every small act you do in hope can change an entire life. And in this way, you are building a legacy that will never fade. My child, do not think that hope is weakness. On the contrary, it is proof of courage. For only the brave dare to hope when everything seems lost. The world may scoff and call hope useless, but I declare this: whoever hopes in me will never be put to shame. When you place your trust in me, you will see my promises fulfilled at the right time, in the right way, and for your ultimate good. No hope placed in me is ever forgotten. My child, imagine one day when you look back upon the road you have traveled. You will see that it was hope that carried you through nights of tears. It was hope that gave you the strength to forgive, to rise again, to love. It was hope that turned trials into victories, failures into stepping stones. And as you look into the lives touched by your journey, you will see that it was all worth it. Hope has not only transformed you, but also the world around you. My child, I urge you to hold fast to hope as to a precious treasure. Do not let circumstances steal it. Do not let negative voices extinguish it. Do not let fear overshadow it. Guard your hope with prayer, with thanksgiving, with constant reminders of my promises. Nourish it by living close to me, for I am the very source of hope. When you are connected to me, you will always be strengthened to persevere. Therefore, my beloved child, walk with an unshakable hope. Let it guide you through every season, the season of sowing, the season of reaping, the season of trial, the season of glory. Let it be the flame burning in your heart, never to be quenched. Let it be the light that illuminates the path for others, so they too may find life in me. For in the end, hope is not only for today or tomorrow, but for all eternity. And in that eternity you will see that hope in me has never been in vain. I did not give you a heart to fear, but I gave you a spirit of strength, of love, and of sound judgment. When you carry hope within yet hesitate to step forward, that hope remains still like a seed that has not yet sprouted. But when you join hope with boldness, it transforms into a field rich with fruit. Therefore, my child, I call you to be strong and courageous, for it is in your steps that you will see my power at work. My child, courage does not mean the absence of fear. Courage is when you still tremble yet decide not to stop. It is when you face uncertainty but continue forward knowing that I am holding your hand. Do not wait until you feel ready, for you will never be completely ready. Yet as you walk, you will discover that I have already made everything ready for you. Every path you take, every door you open has been prepared in my wisdom. All you need to do is trust and keep moving forward. Remember this, my child, your enemy will always try to sow fear in your heart. It whispers, you are not good enough, you are not strong enough, you will fail. But I tell you, those words are lies. You do not walk in your own strength, but in mine. You do not act alone, for I am with you. How then can you fail when the Creator of the universe walks beside you? Your courage does not come from self-confidence, but from the faith that I have never abandoned you, and I never will. My child, I want you to understand that every step of courage you take matters. When you dare to forgive, though still wounded, that is courage. When you dare to love, though once betrayed, that is courage. When you dare to rise after many failures, that is courage. And when you dare to trust in the midst of darkness, that is the greatest courage of all. Do not think that courage only lies in great deeds known by many. At times, courage is found in small daily choices, yet those choices carry the power to transform an entire life. Remember, my child, that every hero in Scripture had trembling moments. Moses hesitated when called, Jonah ran away, Gideon doubted. Yet when they chose courage, I used them for great works. Likewise, you do not need to be perfect to be used. You only need the courage to say yes. And when you do, you will see my hand move in ways beyond human understanding. My child, I know that the courage you need is not only to face the challenges outside, but also to face the fears within. It is the fear of rejection, the fear of not being enough, the fear of loss. Yet I say to you, fear only has power when you allow it. When you confront it with the light of truth, it will fade away. The truth is, you are unconditionally loved, you are chosen, you are protected. When you stand upon this truth, fear can no longer bind you. My child, courage does not only bring freedom for yourself, but it also opens the way for others. When they see you daring to walk forward, they will be encouraged to step forward too. When they see you daring to trust, they will find a reason to believe. When they see you daring to live authentically, they will be set free from pretense. Therefore, your courage is not merely a personal act, but a flame that spreads, igniting many other lights. You may not fully know the extent of your influence, but I know and I delight when I see your boldness. My child, I tell you this, you were not created to live in timidity. You were created to conquer, to walk with an open heart, to become a living witness of my glory. Do not let the memories of past failures hold you back. Do not let words of criticism discourage you. Do not let the past define you. I have placed within you a new strength, and I want you to discover it through each courageous step you take. Step out of your comfort zone, for it is beyond that place where miracles occur. So then, my beloved child, clothe yourself with a spirit of boldness. Live as a warrior, not a warrior of violence, but of love and steadfastness. Let each step you take testify that you trust in me. Let your words bring life, not sow fear. Let your actions open doors for others to enter into freedom. And always remember, I am with you from the smallest matters to the greatest. With me, you will always have enough strength to walk courageously. My beloved child, I tell you, courage is not just a thought in the mind, but something proven through action. You may pray for strength, but if you do not step forward, that strength will remain still. It is like the wings given to a bird. They are of no use unless the bird dares to fly. So it is with you. I have placed within you the wings of faith, but you must stretch them out and dare to take flight. When you act, my grace will lift you higher than you could ever imagine. My child, true courage does not always reveal itself in grand and glorious moments, but in the quiet choices you make again and again each day. When you choose to rise early to spend time with me instead of burying yourself in sleep, that is courage. When you choose kind words instead of responding in anger, that is courage. When you choose honesty, even at the cost of loss, that is courage. And when you choose to persevere in doing what is right, even without seeing results, that is true courage. You need not wait for some great opportunity to display bravery, for it is in the small things that you train your heart to be steadfast. My child, courage also means daring to let go of what no longer belongs to you. I have seen you hold tightly to old memories, toxic relationships, and responsibilities I never asked you to carry. They are like burdens that weigh you down, keeping you from soaring high. But to live in freedom, you must be brave enough to say no. No to the things that wound your soul, no to the habits that destroy your body, no to the lies that make you doubt your own worth. When you find the courage to let go, you create space for me to fill you with something new. My child, I also want you to understand that courage does not eliminate fear, it overcomes it. You may feel your heart trembling, your hands sweating, your mind filled with questions, yet if you still take a step forward, that is courage. The world believes that the courageous are those who feel no fear. But the truth is, only those who know fear can reveal true courage. It is because darkness exists that light shines so brightly. It is because fear exists that courage is proven real. Therefore, do not wait until fear has vanished. Learn to walk even in the midst of fear, trusting that I am walking with you. My child, I have placed within you a mission far greater than you imagine. This mission requires courage, the courage to step out of your comfort zone, to dare, to try what is new, and to believe that you can be my instrument. Do not let the doubts of others hold you back. Do not let their criticism turn you away. For those I call are often the ones the world despises. Yet through their courageous steps they become living proof of my power. And you too will be the same if you dare to say yes to my calling. My child, your courage does not only bring blessing to yourself, but also to many others. When you dare to face sickness with faith, you encourage those who are weak. When you dare to forgive those who have hurt you, you open the way for many to find reconciliation. When you dare to remain faithful, even on difficult paths, you become a shining example for the generations to come. You may not know how many eyes are watching, how many hearts are being moved because of your courage. But I know, and I will use it to sow seeds of blessing everywhere. My child, courage also means daring to dream again. Perhaps you have failed before, perhaps you have seen dreams shattered, perhaps you have heard the voices of others belittling you. But I declare, do not give up the dream that I have planted in your heart. Be courageous enough to pick up the pen and write the next chapter. Be courageous enough to rebuild from the ashes. Be courageous enough to step out once more, for I can turn failure into lessons lost, into new beginnings, and unfinished fragments into a perfect masterpiece. Believe that the dream I give never dies, and if you are courageous, you will see it come to life. My child, remember that courage is nurtured in fellowship with me. If you rely only on your own strength, you will soon be exhausted. But if you come to me each day, I will pour out fresh strength. When you are weak, I will make you strong. When you are discouraged, I will rekindle your faith. When you fall, I will lift you up. Let your courage not rest on human willpower, but on my presence and my promises. Then you will never run dry. Therefore, my beloved child, make courage your way of life. Do not choose it only in special moments, but choose it every day. Dare to live truthfully, dare to love, dare to trust, dare to act in faith. Let every step you take declare that you belong to me, and that you trust I will bring about the best. And as you live this way, you will not only see your life transformed, but also the world around you changed through your courage. My beloved child, I declare to you that the courage you choose today will not stop with you alone, but will spread forth as a legacy for the generations to come. Every bold decision, every step taken in faith, every moment you choose not to surrender to fear becomes a seed sown into the ground. And though you may not see it immediately, that seed will sprout in others, your family, your friends, your descendants, and even those who simply happen to cross paths with your life. You do not live merely for yourself, but you live to create a current of influence that extends far beyond your sight. My child, remember that the history of humanity has been changed by those who dared to be courageous. They were not always strong, but they chose to believe my word and act upon my call. Abraham dared to leave his homeland. Moses dared to stand before Pharaoh. Esther dared to approach the king to save her people. They all shared one thing in common: they did not let fear decide for them, but allowed faith to lead the way. And today you stand among that same company. Know that your courage will open doors to miracles you have never imagined. My child, many think that influence only comes from great and mighty actions, but I tell you this: even courage in the smallest things can transform a life. A word of forgiveness can heal a broken heart. A simple embrace in a moment of despair can rekindle hope. A bold word spoken in defense of justice can halt the advance of injustice. You may never fully see the reach of your courageous acts, but I see them, and I delight when you choose to walk in truth. My beloved, I want you to see courage not merely as a trial to overcome, but as an inheritance you can pass on. When you live boldly, you are teaching those around you that fear is not destiny. You are leaving behind footsteps for them to follow, so that when storms arise, they will remember there was once someone who stood firm, and they too will stand firm. Your courage becomes a flame passed into their hands, and that flame will continue to burn through generations yet unborn. My child, I see within your heart the longing for your life to matter, not to pass by in vain. And I say to you, it is courage that will make your life a living song. People may forget wealth, fame, or position, but they will never forget the light kindled by a courageous soul. When you live boldly, you do more than write your own story, you write the story of a community. You leave behind chronicles written in faith, in love, and in perseverance. My child, do not fear that you are too small to make an impact. In my hand, even a small stone can bring down a giant. A quiet prayer can shake the heavens and the earth. A single act of love can change the destiny of a soul. And if you remain faithful, I will multiply what you have into something far beyond imagination. Your courage, though simple, can become the foundation for a great work in my hand. Remember, my child, that courage is also the spiritual inheritance you leave to your descendants. When they see you stand firm in trials, they will learn that faith is real. When they see you rise for what is right, they will learn that justice is worth defending. When they see you love, even when wounded, they will learn that love is stronger than hatred. And in this way, you are planting within their lives a steadfast foundation that will help them walk securely on the path I have laid out. My child, I declare to you that courage not only paves the way for miracles, but also transforms your life into a living testimony. When others look at you, they will see that my presence is real. When they witness you standing firm, they will realize it is not you, but I working through you. Thus all glory will belong to me, while you will rejoice in knowing your life has not been in vain. You have lived not merely to exist, but to reveal the light of heaven in the midst of the world. Therefore, my beloved child, continue walking in courage. Do not fear when you do not see immediate results. Do not lose heart when others fail to understand or even mock you. Remember that I am recording every one of your deeds, and nothing is forgotten. You are building an eternal legacy, and one day when you look back, you will see that every step of courage, every tear shed, every prayer lifted, all contributed to a glorious picture. And on that day you will hear my voice saying, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your Lord." My beloved child, I declare to you that everything you have ever heard about faith, about hope, about courage, all of it springs from and is sustained by love. Not the fragile kind of love the world often speaks of, but the eternal and unchanging love that has embraced you even before you were formed. It was this love that moved me to create you, this love that keeps you standing firm amidst the storms, and this love that will carry you to your final destination. If you could truly grasp this love, you would no longer tremble in fear, for perfect love drives out all fear. My child, the love I have for you does not depend on how much you accomplish or how badly you fail. It does not shift with your emotions or your achievements. Even in your weakness, even in your stumbling, I still love you. My love does not change. It is as steady as the mountains, as deep and wide as the ocean, as vast as the heavens. When you think you have run dry, my love overflows. When you feel unworthy, my love still covers you. And when you run away, that love pursues you, embraces you, and draws you back home. Dear child, love is not merely words, but living action. You can see my love in every breath you take, in the sunlight that warms each day, and the people I place beside you to lift you up. You can see my love in the forgiveness you receive each time you turn back. You can see my love most fully in my beloved Son, who gave himself so that you may have life. There is no greater proof than this. He was wounded so that you might be healed. He died so that you might live. He was abandoned so that you might be welcomed as a child. My child, this love is the eternal seal that no one can take away from you. My beloved, when you allow this love to fill your heart, you will see everything else transformed. Fear will vanish because you know you are always protected. Loneliness will fade because you know you are never forsaken. Doubt will grow dim because you know I always hold a good plan. Bitterness will dissolve because my love enables you to forgive. When this love overflows, you will discover a new source of life, a true freedom, and a joy that nothing can shake. My child, I say to you, my love is not given for you to keep to yourself, but to share. Love others as I have loved you. Yes, this is not easy, for some have hurt you, some do not understand you, and some even oppose you. Yet it is precisely when you love them that my love within you will shine forth. You do not love by your own strength, but by the power I give you. And as you do so, you become an instrument through which I spread love everywhere, a love that heals, restores, and rebuilds what has been broken. My child, I see that your heart often longs to love, yet it also carries many wounds. You have opened your heart before only to be taken advantage of. You have trusted, and you have been betrayed. I know that pain. But my child, I want you to know that my love can heal those wounds so that you no longer fear to love. I want that love to flow through you, so you may give it to others without fear of being emptied. For this source of love is infinite. The more you give, the more you are filled. My child, love is also the key for you to truly understand your worth. The world measures value by achievement, beauty, or status. But I tell you, your worth does not come from what you do, but from who you belong to. You are the child of the King of Kings, engraved upon the palm of my hand, a treasure that cannot be replaced. When you understand this, you will no longer live to seek approval from others, but you will live in freedom, for you are already loved unconditionally. My child, the love I give you will also be your strength in every trial. When you are weary, let this love sustain you. When you are confused, let this love bring peace. When you are rejected, let this love embrace you. And when you think there is no way out, remember that this love always opens a path. You will see that love is stronger than hatred, greater than death itself, and eternal love is what carries you through every season of life. Therefore, my beloved child, let love be the foundation of all that you do. Let it shape the way you think, the way you speak, the way you act. Let it flow in how you treat your family, your friends, and even those who are hardest to love. Let love become the mark of your life, so that when others look at you, they do not merely see a person, but they catch a glimpse of me within you. And as you live in love in this way, you will experience a peace that surpasses all understanding, and you will know that you are truly living within my eternal purpose. My beloved child, I declare to you, the love I have for you is not merely a truth to be known in your mind, but a power that can transform your whole life. It is like a stream of fresh water flowing into a barren land, causing it to revive and bring forth vibrant life. So it is with you. When you allow my love to permeate your soul, every dry and desolate place within you will be restored. Bitterness will dissolve, old wounds will be healed, and you will rediscover the joy you once thought was lost. My child, love is not confined to emotion alone. It recreates your very character. When you are loved unconditionally, you learn how to love without demanding anything in return. When you experience forgiveness, you learn how to forgive others. And when you know that you are fully accepted, you no longer feel the need to live in pretense to seek the world's approval. It is my love that sets you free, free from the chains of comparison, from the gaze of others, and from harsh standards. That love teaches you to live truthfully, deeply, and full of grace. My child, I see how often your heart carries things you have not yet released. You hold on to hurtful words, to painful memories, to moments of rejection. They are like heavy stones piled upon your soul, weighing you down. But I declare to you, love has the power to break those chains. When you allow my love to fully take hold of you, you will discover the strength to let go of the past. Forgiveness is not because others deserve it, but because you deserve freedom. Forgiveness is not forgetting, but laying down the burden at my feet. And as you forgive, you will find your heart lightened, your eyes brighter, and your soul lifted. My beloved, love is also the fire that compels you to live for what is greater. The world urges you to act for fame, for gain, for power. But my love compels you to act for life, for peace, for light. When you let love guide you, everything you do will bear lasting value. A word of encouragement can save someone from despair. A kind deed can rekindle faith in a hardened heart. A sincere embrace can drive away the loneliness surrounding another. Remember this, my child, nothing done in love is ever small. My child, my love also holds the power to restore relationships. I know you have walked through fractures in kinship, distances in friendship, and misunderstandings within your family. These cracks have worn you down, even shaken your trust. Yet, my child, I declare that love can bridge even the chasms that seem endless. Love teaches you patience to listen, humility to apologize, and gentleness to mend. When you walk in love, relationships are healed and bonds are renewed as a testimony to my power. My child, I also want you to understand that love is the most powerful language this world can ever hear. People may argue against reasoning, but they cannot deny a genuine act of love. They may reject faith, but they cannot reject being embraced, cared for, and served with true love. When you choose to live in love, you are speaking a language every heart understands, a language that needs no translation. This is how you bring my light to those who have never heard my voice. My child, I see that many times you fear that if you love too much, you will be hurt. And it is true, love can make you vulnerable because it opens your heart. But I declare that love is also where you will find true life. It is better to love and be wounded than to let your heart turn to stone. When you love, you reflect my image, for I am love itself. And though others may betray you, I will never betray you. Though the world may wound you, my love will always be the place where you are healed. My child, love also teaches you the value of sacrifice. It does not seek its own gain, but freely gives, so that others may be lifted up. When you give a little of your time, you can bring joy to a lonely soul. When you share some of your resources, you can meet the urgent need of the one who lacks. When you offer your care, you can save someone from despair. And remember this, every sacrifice made in love is never wasted, for I see it, I record it, and I will reward it. So then, my beloved child, let love become the current that flows through the whole of your life. Do not keep it only for yourself, but allow it to spread like a sweet fragrance, like the radiant light of the sun. Love your family, your friends, even those who are the hardest to love. Live with love in the smallest details, and you will see the world around you begin to change. For love does not transform only one person, it transforms communities, nations, and entire generations. And when you live this way, you leave behind an eternal mark, the mark of love, which is the very language of heaven. My beloved child, I say to you, love is not merely a part of the journey, but the final destination itself. When all else fades away, fame, wealth, health, position, only love remains. Love is the language of eternity, the foundation of life, the highest goal of every soul. You may achieve great successes, you may build many works, but without love, it all becomes meaningless. Therefore, I call you to make love the center, not only for today, but for all eternity. My child, the love I give you is not only for your comfort, but to transform you into an instrument that carries that love into the world. When you love, you bring heaven down to earth. When you open your heart, you open the door for others to see my light. When you choose love instead of hatred, forgiveness instead of revenge service, instead of selfishness, you reveal my image in a world full of shadows. Remember this, the world may resist many things, but it cannot resist true love. My dear one, love is also the mark by which the world will know that you belong to me. Not by knowledge, not by wealth, not by worldly wisdom, but by love. When you live with love, you bear witness to my presence. Others may never read the scriptures, but they will read your life. They will recognize me through the way you love. And thus love is not just a virtue, it is a mission. You are called to be a messenger of love, the only language that can touch every heart no matter the barriers. My child, I know that living in love is not always easy. It requires you to set aside your ego, to accept sacrifice, to open your heart, even when there is the risk of being hurt. Yet within this very act you will discover true freedom. When you love, you are no longer ruled by hatred. When you forgive, you are no longer chained by bitterness. When you give, you are no longer bound by selfishness. Love does not make you weak, it makes you stronger than ever. It expands your soul, sharpens your vision, and fills your life with meaning. My child, love is also the greatest legacy you can leave behind. People may forget your words, they may forget the work you have done, but they will never forget the way you loved. A small act of love can leave an imprint on another's heart for a lifetime. A kind word can become a memory engraved forever, and everything you do in love will be recorded in eternity where nothing is ever lost. Therefore, choose to leave behind the mark of love, for that is the only thing that endures. My child, love is also the strength that will carry you through the final days of your earthly life. When your body grows frail, when your strength runs out, when all else slips away, it is love that will sustain you. My love will embrace you in arms of safety. The love you have sown in others will return to you like a stream that refreshes your soul. And that love will lead you into everlasting glory, where you will see that every tear, every sacrifice, every step of love was never in vain. My child, remember this, love never fails. It may be despised, it may be rejected, it may be wounded, but in the end it always prevails. It conquers hatred, it overcomes death, it rises above all evil. For I am love, and I never fail. When you walk in love, you walk in me, and in that you are surely protected, surely kept, and surely led into glory. So then, my beloved child, let love become the breath and the heartbeat of your life. Let it guide every decision, every thought, every word, every action. Let it flow out of you like an unending river, refreshing everywhere you pass through. And when you live this way, you will see that your life is not merely a fleeting journey, but an endless song echoing forever in eternity. For love is my language, my purpose and my gift to you, so that you may know you belong to me forever. My beloved child, I declare to you that I am the God of restoration. I do not merely heal wounds, but I renew your entire life. I do not simply mend the broken pieces, but I recreate them into a masterpiece more beautiful than before. You may think that the losses in your life have forever stolen your joy and hope, but I say to you, nothing is so ruined that I cannot restore it. Remember, my power is not limited to preventing evil from happening, but is revealed in turning what was meant for harm into something good and glorious. My child, the restoration I bring is not like what the world imagines. The world seeks to return to what once was as though the wound had never existed. But I say to you, the restoration I give is greater. It transforms you into a stronger, deeper, and closer version of yourself in me. The wound no longer remains a painful memory, but becomes a testimony of mercy. The losses no longer remain as regrets, but become the foundation of wisdom. And the trials no longer remain obstacles, but become the very platform that launches you to new heights. Beloved child, I know there are parts of your life so shattered that you dare not believe they could ever be healed. Perhaps it is a broken relationship, an abandoned dream, or a shaken faith. But I declare to you, it is precisely in those places that I long to display my greatest power. Just as parched ground thirsts for water, it is in those very places of pain that fertile soil for new life will emerge. Do not fear the cracks, for it is through them that my light will shine. Believe this: no wound is ever wasted when it is placed in my hands. My dear one, the restoration I bring does not happen in an instant but unfolds as a process. I know you long to see immediate results, yet true healing requires time. Just as a seed must endure a long winter before it breaks forth in life, so too must your life pass through seasons before it flourishes again. During that time, I do not abandon you. I nurture you, care for you, and protect you. Day by day, little by little, I am rebuilding your soul. And one day, when you look back, you will marvel at how you have changed stronger, brighter, and more radiant than ever before. My child, the restoration I give is not only for you personally, but also for those around you. When you are healed, you become a source of encouragement for others. When you rise after stumbling, you help others believe they too can rise. When you testify of what I have done in your life, you sow seeds of hope into broken hearts. Therefore, know that your restoration is not for your benefit alone, but also a channel through which my love and grace flow to many others. My beloved, I want you to remember that restoration does not mean you will never face trials again. This world remains full of hardships, but the difference is that you have been changed from within. Your soul now carries new strength, your heart now carries new love, and your eyes now carry new vision. You no longer look at life with bitterness, but with gratitude. You no longer fear the future, but walk forward with faith. And it is this inner transformation that will help you stand firm through every storm to come. My child, I also want you to understand that restoration always comes with purpose. I do not restore you so you may return to your old ways, but so you may step into a new journey. Just as a sick person is healed to live fully again, you too are restored to fulfill the mission I have entrusted to you. The new life you receive is not for wasting, but for offering, for serving, for loving. When you live in this way, your restoration will be made complete, and your life will bear abundant fruit. My child, believe that there are no limits to my restoration. Even if you feel it is too late, too weak, too broken, I can still make all things new. I can cause green shoots to sprout from a withered tree, make streams flow in the desert, and bring back to life what was dead. And I declare that your life is no exception. Place your trust in me, and I will transform the dead parts within you into radiant blossoms testifying to eternal life. Therefore, my beloved child, do not fear your brokenness. Do not be ashamed of your wounds. Bring them all to me. I will not only mend, but transform. I will not only return what you lost, but give you abundantly more. I will make you a living symbol of restoration, so that when others look at you, they will know that I am the one who makes all things new. And in that moment, you will no longer sing songs of sorrow, but a song of triumph, for you will know that my love has turned every ruin into glory. My beloved child, I declare to you that restoration is not a miracle that happens in a single moment, but a journey taken step by step. Just as the dawn does not appear suddenly, but begins with a faint ray of light that slowly spreads across the sky, so too does your restoration come day by day, hour by hour. You may not notice the change in a single moment, but when you look back, you will see how far you have already walked. This is how I work gently, patiently, yet with great power, so that your soul may be nourished in a lasting way. My child, the journey of restoration begins within, in the heart. Many think that healing only occurs when outward circumstances change, when sickness is taken away, when problems are resolved, when relationships are mended. But I tell you, true restoration begins in the spirit. When your heart is healed, when your mind finds peace again, even if the outside has not yet changed, you have already begun to live in newness. It is this inner peace that becomes the foundation upon which all other things are restored. Oh, my child, the process of restoration requires patience. You cannot demand flowers to bloom before spring arrives. Neither can you force a wound to close overnight. Yet believe this, even in slowness, I am still at work. Every prayer you lift up is a seed planted. Every tear you shed is water poured upon the soil. Every step of trust you take is a ray of warm sunlight. And when all these come together, the harvest will surely come, and you will behold the fields of life overflowing with fruit. My child, restoration also involves the removing of what is old. There are habits, thoughts, and relationships that no longer bring life, yet you still cling to them. They are like dry branches that hinder the sprouting of new buds. I know that pruning brings you pain, but it is that very pruning which makes room for new life. When you dare to let go, you will find freedom. When you allow me to take away what does not belong to you, you will have space to receive what is far better. Oh, my beloved, restoration is also a journey of learning to trust again. You have known betrayal, you have suffered wounds, you have seen hope shatter. But I want you to know this: I am not like the world. I am faithful in every promise. When I say I will restore you, you may trust me completely. Open your heart to learn to trust once more. Trust in me, trust in my plan, trust that you are not abandoned. For only when you trust can you walk lightly upon the path of restoration that I have prepared for you. My child, healing does not exclude pain. I do not promise that you will never feel hurt again. But I promise you this: your pain will not be meaningless. Just as a wound must be cleansed before it can heal, sometimes you must face the truth in order to be restored. You may need to weep, to speak out, to confront the memories you once longed to bury. Yet I am with you in every one of those moments. I will hold you, wipe away your tears, and transform them into raindrops that nurture a new season of life. Beloved child, in the process of recovery, you will relearn how to love. As your heart is healed, you will no longer fear being hurt when you open yourself. You will learn to love without fear of loss, to give without calculation, to receive without suspicion. It is healing that makes love within you deeper, more mature. You will not love merely with emotion, but with patience, with kindness, with forgiveness, a love that endures, refined through trials. My child, the journey of healing is also a journey of gratitude. When you begin to notice even the smallest signs of renewal, a day of greater peace, a night of deeper rest, a relationship restored, be thankful. Gratitude opens the door to greater blessings. It is like sunlight strengthening a young plant. When you are grateful for the small, you will see the greater added to you. Gratitude not only changes the way you see life, but it also transforms your spirit, making you fertile ground to receive even more grace. Beloved child, I want you to understand that healing is not for the individual alone, but for the whole community. When one life is restored, a family is renewed. When a family is restored, a community is strengthened. And when communities change, an entire generation is transformed. Know this: your journey of healing carries far more influence than you imagine. It is part of the greater picture I am painting, where every broken piece is set back into its place, forming a masterpiece of glory. So then, my beloved child, do not lose heart when you do not yet see immediate results. Do not think that restoration is too distant. It has already begun the very moment you turn back to me. It is unfolding in every renewed thought, every wound that is being soothed, every tear that is being wiped away. Walk with patience, for one day you will find yourself standing upon the mountaintop, looking back at the road you have traveled and realizing that every hardship was only a preparation for complete restoration. And in that moment you will sing, because you will know that I have made all things new for you. My beloved child, I declare to you that the outcome of restoration is not merely a return to what once was, but an entrance into an entirely new life. You will no longer be the person you once were, carrying hidden wounds and lingering fears. You will become someone new, refined through fire, strengthened through trials, and covered by my light. You will see yourself stronger, deeper, and more compassionate than ever before. It is restoration that transforms you, so that you are no longer only one who has endured pain, but a witness to the miracle of renewal. O child, the restoration I give always comes with joy. Not a shallow joy that depends on circumstances, but a profound joy born from knowing that I have made all things new. You will laugh not only in times of ease, but even in days of trial, because you know that in the end I remain sovereign. You will find yourself grateful for the smallest things: a morning ray of sunlight, a budding flower, a gentle word, for you will know that all of these are signs of new life. And that joy itself will testify to others that true restoration has indeed taken place. My child, restoration also gives you a more compassionate heart. Once you may have judged those who were weak, but after walking through your own wounds, you will carry deep mercy. You will no longer be quick to condemn, but willing to listen, to share, and to lift others up. You will become a refuge for those who are broken because you understand that pain. Restoration itself turns you into an instrument of healing, not only through words, but through the comforting presence you bring. And through you, many will find the light. My child, the result of restoration is also the courage to step into a new mission. When you see that I have healed you, you will no longer fear to walk forward. You will have a strong confidence that if I have done it for you, I can do it for others as well. And so you will no longer remain silent, but will share your story. That story, though filled with tears, will become a source of hope for others. For every time you tell your journey of restoration, you are planting seeds of faith in the hearts of those who long for a miracle. My child, restoration also allows you to see life through different eyes. In the past, you may have seen burdens and responsibility, but now you see opportunities to love. In the past, you may have thought failure was the end, but now you see it as a stepping stone for a new beginning. In the past, you may have viewed wounds as stains, but now you see them as marks of grace. It is precisely this shift in perspective that allows you to walk more lightly, more freely, and more powerfully. My child, restoration does not only bring benefits to your spiritual life, but it also touches your body and mind. When your heart is filled with hope and peace, your body will be renewed with strength. When your mind is transformed, tension will fade away, and you will find greater clarity. This inner restoration will flow outward so that others looking at you will recognize a supernatural power at work. And that recognition will lead them to seek the source of that power, which is me. My child, the greatest gift restoration brings is a deep connection with me. When you walk through trials and are healed, your relationship with me grows closer. You will no longer come to me only in times of need, but will long to remain in me each day. You will realize that restoration is not only a gift, but also an invitation into intimacy with me. And as you live in that relationship, you will find your life filled with my presence, my peace, and a joy that never runs dry. My child, the restoration I give never stops with one person. It spreads outward like ripples when a stone falls into water. When you are healed, your family is encouraged. When your family is renewed, your community is impacted. And when the community is transformed, an entire generation is changed. Remember this, your journey of restoration is never small, but is part of my great plan to transform the world. So then, my beloved child, rejoice in restoration. Do not hide your old wounds, but let them become living proof of grace. Do not be afraid to share your story, for it may rescue a soul from despair. Do not think of restoration as merely a passing season, but see it as a new beginning. You are stepping into a new season, a new chapter, where you will no longer live imprisoned by the past, but walk freely in love and grace. And as you go, remember, I am with you, turning every ruin into glory, every tear into a song, and every failure into victory. My beloved, I tell you this, when I restore you, it is not only so you may reclaim what was lost, but so you may be prepared to step into something new. The old season has passed along with its tears, its wounds, and its trials. Now I am setting before you a new chapter in your journey, a great door into things you have never seen. You are no longer confined by the past or defined by failure, but called to live in the abundance of grace. Remember this, I never lead you aimlessly in circles. Every trial you endured was preparing you for this very day, the day you are called to enter into a new season of life and purpose. My child, this new season is not some vague notion, but a reality I am placing right before you. It is like the dawn after a long night. Darkness cannot linger forever, and now the light has begun to break forth. You may already sense within your soul a stirring, a gentle urge to live differently, to rise higher, to reach further. This is not by chance, but it is my call. I am awakening your spirit, urging you to leave behind what is old, so you may step into the freshness I have prepared for you. Do not fear change, for I am the one who has authored this story, and every detail rests in my hands. Beloved child, stepping into a new season also means being willing to let go of the old. You cannot carry the burdens, the old mindsets, or the worn habits with you into this new chapter. Just as no one pours new wine into old wineskins, so too must you have a new heart, a renewed spirit, to hold the life I am giving you. I know letting go is not easy, for those things have become familiar to you. But hear me, only when you dare to lay them down will you truly be able to receive. And what I long to give you goes far beyond anything you have ever held on to. My child, this new season is a season of abundance. Not abundance in material things first, but in the soul. You will experience peace that surpasses all understanding, joy that does not depend on circumstances, and strength that does not come from yourself. When your spirit overflows, the rest of your life will also be transformed. Relationships will be healed, work will find meaning, and each day of living will become a purposeful journey. You will no longer live merely to exist, but to shine. And that light will spread to everyone around you, so that they will know that I am within you. My child, this new season is also a season of elevation. I am lifting you up from the things that once held you captive in the past. Fear will no longer have the final word. Doubt will no longer bind you. I am placing upon your shoulders a new garment, the robe of righteousness, the robe of glory, the robe of mission. You will no longer live as a victim, but as a victor. You will no longer hide in the shadows, but will walk with dignity. You will no longer bow your head in shame, but lift it high, for you know you belong to me. My child, in this new season you will also see increase. Increase in faith, in wisdom, in the capacity to love, and in kindness. Every trial of the past has been shaping you so that you may carry more. I do not give you more to weigh you down, but because I have made you stronger. Just as a tree with deep roots weathers the storm and can now bear much fruit, so it is with you. You will become a source of blessing for many. And what you once sowed in tears, you will reap with songs of joy. My child, I also want you to understand that stepping into a new season does not mean you will not face challenges. But the difference is that you will not face them as you once did. Now you have maturity, steadfastness, and peace. What once terrified you will now become opportunities to prove your faith. What once caused you to stumble will now serve as testimony of victory. And each time you overcome, you will not only grow stronger, but you will also become a guiding light for those still searching for a way out. My child, this new season is also a season of calling. I do not restore you merely so that you may live comfortably, but so that you may rise in your mission. There are people waiting for your encouragement. There are those who need to hear your story of restoration. There are some who will find hope simply by watching you walk in faith. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need to share what I have done in your life. And through that, doors will open for many others to also step into their new season. Therefore, my beloved child, open your heart and receive. Do not look back at the past with regret, and do not let the present discourage you. Lift up your eyes, for a new season has come. It is not some distant promise, but a reality you can touch. You only need to believe, to step forward, to say yes. And when you do, you will see wonders unfold not only in your life, but also through you, so that many others may be touched. For I, the Lord your God, am making all things new, and now your new season has begun. My beloved child, I tell you this, to enter into the new season, you must prepare your heart and life as a farmer prepares the soil for planting. You cannot expect a harvest if you have not pulled out the weeds, broken up the hard ground, and sown the seeds at the proper time. In the same way, this new season I am opening for you requires preparation. You must be willing to cast aside what slows your steps, weighs down your soul, and clouds your vision. I do not want you to enter this new season carrying old baggage, but with a renewed heart and an open mind ready to receive. My child, preparation for a new season begins with the renewal of your mind. You cannot step into a new chapter with old ways of thinking. If your heart remains bound by doubt, anxiety, or bitterness, you will find it difficult to fully see what I am about to do. Therefore, I call you to replace negative thoughts with truth that comes from me. When you are tempted to think you are not enough, remember that I am your strength. When you feel alone, remember that I have promised never to leave you. When you are afraid, let my love drive out the darkness. A renewed mind will be the doorway that opens into a season filled with grace. My dear child, stepping into the new season also requires an adjustment in your way of life. The habits you built in the past may have helped you survive, but they are not enough to take you further. You need new discipline, new consistency, and a new rhythm of living. Learn to set your priorities. Give time to me first. Nurture your soul before rushing after work. Learn to rest in my presence, for from there you will draw strength to walk forward. Choose nourishment for your body, stillness for your mind, and training for your spirit. This is not merely discipline, it is preparation so that you may be ready for the great things ahead. My child, the new season also requires obedience. I may grant you visions, but you must be willing to walk according to my guidance. Many have missed their new season because they clung tightly to their own control instead of trusting in my leading. But remember this, my child, I see farther than you see. I know more than you know, and I understand more deeply than you understand. When I call you to go, even if you do not fully comprehend, obey. For obedience always opens the door to miracles. You do not need to see the whole road. You only need to walk in the light I give you for today. My child, to step into a new season, you must also strengthen your faith. Faith is like a muscle. If it is not exercised, it will grow weak. Every challenge you have gone through has been a training ground where your faith was refined. Now that faith must be put to use, so you may stand firm in this new season. When you face obstacles, declare that I am your deliverer. When you cannot see the way forward, proclaim that I am your guide. When you are weary, remember that my grace is sufficient for you. Strong faith will become the wings that lift you higher in this new season, carrying you above every storm. My child, I also want you to remember that a new season always comes with new responsibilities. I do not grant you increase merely for your own enjoyment, but so that you may become a blessing to others. You are restored not just to live for yourself, but to bring healing to many. You are lifted up not for self-exaltation, but to shine light and lead. This responsibility may feel heavy, but know this: I never place upon you a burden too great to bear. I will carry it with you, and I will turn it into an opportunity for you to experience even more of my grace. My child, a new season also requires you to have a new vision. If you only look back to the past, you will miss what I am doing now. If you only fix your eyes on your circumstances, you will be limited. But if you lift your gaze to me, you will see a greater horizon. You will see doors opening, new opportunities arising, and people in need of my touch. You will realize that you are not living merely for the present, but building toward an eternal future. And when you carry that vision, every step you take will be filled with meaning, for you know you are walking according to my plan. My child, I know you may worry that you are not enough for this new season, but I declare to you, you do not walk alone. I will give you strength each day, wisdom whenever you need it, and guidance in every decision. I will place beside you companions, those who will support you, uphold you, and intercede for you. I will open up resources, grant opportunities, and shield you from the enemy. All you need to do is remain faithful and keep walking. The rest I will accomplish. So then, my beloved child, prepare your heart, step away from what is old, and embrace the newness that awaits. Let your mind be renewed, your lifestyle disciplined, your faith fortified, and your obedience trained. And as you walk forward, you will see that the new season is not just a promise, but a reality. You will witness doors opening, miracles unfolding, and blessings overflowing. For I, the Lord your God, am doing a new thing, and you are the living witness of it. My beloved child, I tell you this: the new season I am leading you into will not only transform you in the present, but will also leave a lasting mark upon the future. As you step into the freshness I provide, you will become a living testimony that I make all things new. Others, when they look at you, will recognize that there is a mighty God at work, and that realization will plant seeds of faith in their hearts. This new season is not merely a phase in your journey. It is the beginning of a legacy of faithfulness, transformation, and abundant life. My child, the results of this new season will be reflected in every area of life. In the spiritual realm, you will find yourself more steadfast, no longer shaken by small trials. In your mind, your thoughts will be clearer, no longer imprisoned by anxiety or bitterness. In relationships, you will see healing, reconnection, and trust being restored. In your work, you will discover a clear sense of purpose, not merely working to survive, but working to bring glory to me. Every part of your life will bear the mark of renewal, and that itself will be the evidence that you are truly living in the new season I have given. My child, the new season will also bring forth fruit. Just as a tree endures a harsh winter only to bud again in spring, so your life after trials will yield lasting fruit. This fruit is not only for you to enjoy, but to nourish others. It may be the encouragement you offer to a weary soul, the forgiveness you extend to one who has hurt you, or the wisdom you share with the younger generation. Each fruit is a testimony of my grace, and each fruit carries the potential to produce many more seeds, leading to an abundant harvest. My child, in this new season, I will also grant you promotion. Not promotion to exalt yourself, but to place you in a greater position of influence for my kingdom. You may be led into new places, new relationships, and new opportunities. You may be entrusted with greater responsibilities, for I have seen your faithfulness in the small things. Yet do not fear the weight of this, for I will strengthen you. It is through this promotion that you will become a light shining in dark places, a source of blessing to those I place around you. My child, the results of this new season will also touch your family. Silent prayers long lifted will be answered. Broken relationships will be healed. Faith once grown cold will be rekindled. You will see your family step into renewal, not only in harmony, but in spiritual connection. When your family is transformed, it will become a firm foundation for future generations to walk in blessing. For your faithfulness today will become a legacy of blessing for your children and grandchildren tomorrow. My child, the new season also means you will become a channel of blessing to your community. No one steps into renewal and keeps it for themselves. A light cannot be hidden under a basket, but must be set on a stand to give light to all. So I will use your life to encourage, to inspire, and to reach those who do not yet know me. You do not need to perform great deeds in the eyes of the world, only to remain faithful in living with love, hope, and faith. And through this you will see an entire community transformed by my presence within you. My child, I want you to remember that the legacy of a new season is not only what you leave behind after you are gone, but also what you sow each day. Every kind word, every act of compassion, every moment of patience and forgiveness, these are all seeds of legacy. One day when you look back, you will see a garden bursting with colors blooming from the tiny seeds you have sown. And when you depart, that legacy will continue to live on, for it is built upon an eternal foundation, love and grace. My dear child, the new season also brings a deeper awareness that your life is not meaningless. In the past, you may have asked, why must I endure so much pain? Why do these trials come? But in the new season, you will see the answer. You will come to realize that every sorrow, every stumble, every waiting moment has led to a greater purpose. They have prepared you for the present, shaping you into someone strong, radiant, and full of meaning. You will understand that no tear has been wasted, no suffering has been in vain, for I have used them all to write a glorious story. Therefore, beloved child, walk into this new season with joy. Know that you are not living only for today, but you are building an everlasting legacy. Remember that each step of faithfulness creates a lasting impact. And believe that this new season will bring transformation not only for you, but also for the generations to come. For I am the one who makes all things new, and I have chosen you to be a living witness to my eternal plan. My precious child, I declare to you that I did not create you merely to exist, but to carry a mission. You were not made to live a meaningless life passing away like withering grass. You were placed in this world with a clear purpose, with a plan written long before your first cry. I have ordained your days, and not one of them lies outside my wisdom. Therefore, when you have been restored, when you step into this new season, that is the moment you must rise in your calling, for this is the very reason you were created. My child, a mission is not merely the great things in the eyes of mankind. But first and foremost, it is faithfulness to what I have entrusted to you. When you care for your family with love, that is a mission. When you work with honesty, even when no one is watching, that is a mission. When you encourage someone in despair, that is a mission. And when you dare to share my love with a soul that is thirsty for it, that too is a mission. Remember, what I seek is not grandeur, but faithfulness. Small acts when done in love can leave an eternal impact. My child, many times you think that the mission is too great beyond your ability. You fear that you are not wise enough, not talented enough, not strong enough. But I tell you this, it is in your very weakness that my power is made perfect. You do not need to be strong in the eyes of the world, for I am your strength. You do not need to know everything, for I am the one with infinite wisdom. You do not need to have it all, for I am your source and provision. When you surrender and trust, I will work through you, and you will accomplish far more than your own strength could ever achieve. My child, mission also means that you must have the courage to step out of your comfort. I know you prefer to stay where it feels safe, where everything is familiar. But the mission will always call you to walk on unknown paths, to face challenges you have never experienced before. Just as Abraham left his father's land to go to the place I promised, so too will you be called to leave your place of safety to enter into new ground. Do not be afraid, for I will go with you, and in those very steps you will see my glory revealed. My child, I have placed within you abilities, gifts, and passions not to be hidden away, but to be used. They are not accidents, but tools for you to fulfill the mission. If you have compassion, it is to comfort the brokenhearted. If you have wisdom, it is to guide the lost. If you have strength, it is to protect the weak. If you have a voice, it is to speak on behalf of those who cannot speak. My child, everything within you has a purpose, and when you offer it to me, it will become a powerful instrument to transform the world. My child, do not fear that your mission is too small. In my kingdom, nothing is small. A single drop of water can give rise to a river. A spark can set an entire forest ablaze. A silent prayer can shake heaven and earth. Remember this. I once used a boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish to feed thousands. I once used the simple heart of a young girl to become the mother of the Savior. And I can use you with all your limitations to accomplish great things. My child, I tell you, your mission is not meant to be fulfilled by your own strength, but in companionship with me. I do not call you to work for me, but to work with me. My presence will go with you in every step. When you feel weak, I will strengthen you. When you feel lost, I will guide you. When you feel alone, I will remind you that my angels still surround you. And when you stumble, I will lift you up so you may walk again. This is not a burden, but a privilege, for you are invited to join me in carrying out my eternal plan. My child, your mission also brings true joy. That joy does not come from applause or recognition, but from knowing you are living in purpose. This joy cannot be taken away, for it does not depend on circumstance, but on the certainty that you are walking in my will. And when you live in mission, you will find your life becoming a harmonious song, where every note, high or low, contributes to a glorious melody. Therefore, my beloved child, rise up. Do not let fear hinder you. Do not let doubt restrain you. Do not let the past bind you. You have been restored. You have entered a new season, and now you are called to walk in your mission. I have set before you an open door, and no one can shut it. All you need to do is step in trust and act. And as you do, you will see that your life will not only be transformed, but will also become an instrument to transform the world. For I am the one who has called you, and I will bring it to completion in you. My beloved, I declare to you that living in mission is not an easy journey, but it is the most worthwhile path you can choose. It will demand your faithfulness even when you do not yet see results. It will test your patience even when you must wait longer than you expect. It will call for sacrifice even when you feel you have nothing left to give. But my child, in those very moments, you will experience the deepest joy, the joy of knowing you are living for the very reason you were created. My child, faithfulness is the key to fulfilling the mission. Many begin with burning passion, but that fire often fades when they face hardships. Yet I declare I am not seeking a short-lived spark, but lasting endurance. Be faithful in small things, and I will entrust you with greater ones. Be faithful when no one is watching, and I will reward you openly. Be faithful even when you do not fully understand, for it is faithfulness itself that opens doors to things you have never imagined. My child, patience is also an indispensable part of this journey. There are promises I have given that may seem delayed, but in truth, they always arrive at the appointed time. Remember the word of Scripture. Though the vision lingers, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay. Patience does not mean sitting idly in passivity, but continuing to do what is right while you wait. When you sow a seed, you do not see the plant immediately, yet beneath the soil, life is silently growing. Believe this. Every drop of sweat, every prayer, every step of trust is preparing for the harvest to come. My child, the mission also calls for sacrifice. At times, you will have to lay down personal desires in pursuit of a greater purpose. At times, you must choose the hard road rather than the easy one. But do not fear that sacrifice is loss, for I say to you, whatever you give to me will be repaid many times over. You may lose temporary comfort, but you will gain eternal peace. You may give up an opportunity in the eyes of the world, but you will step through the door of glory in my eyes. And in the end, you will see that no sacrifice made for the mission is ever in vain. My child, the greatest driving force for living out your mission is love. Not shallow love, but love that flows from me. When love is your motive, you will not burn out. When love leads, you will not seek recognition, but find joy in pleasing me. You will learn to serve others not for reward, but because you know that I first loved and served you. And when love is the root, your mission will not be a burden, but a sweet privilege. My child, living in the mission also means being ready to face opposition. Not everyone will understand you, not everyone will support you. There may be those who mock, doubt, or even resist you. But I say, do not let the words of men silence the call from heaven. Remember that even the Savior himself was despised and rejected, yet he remained faithful to the end. Walk in his example, for the mission is not to win the praise of the world, but to reveal my glory. My dear child, when you live within the mission, you will experience a profound fulfillment that the world cannot give. You may grow weary. You may shed tears. You may even feel alone, yet deep within your soul will overflow with peace, because you know you are walking in the right direction. That peace does not come from circumstances, but from my presence. And as you walk, I will use each of your steps to pave the way for others. You will become a signpost guiding many back to me. Beloved one, I also want you to know that living in your mission does not mean you must be perfect. I do not demand perfection, but surrender. There will be times when you stumble, but what matters is that you rise again and keep moving forward. There will be moments when you feel inadequate, but let that draw you nearer to me. The mission is not accomplished by your strength, but by my grace. When you understand this, you will no longer be burdened by the pressure of perfection, but will live freely under my guidance. Therefore, my precious child, live fully in the mission I have entrusted to you. Be faithful each day, patient in waiting, willing to sacrifice when necessary, and let love be your driving force. Do not fear failure, for failure is only a stepping stone to success. Do not fear opposition, for opposition only strengthens faith. Do not fear limits, for limits are opportunities for my power to be revealed. Remember that I have chosen you, called you, and sent you, and I, the one who began the good work, will bring it to completion until the end. My dear child, this journey is not only for you to hear words of comfort, but for you to be awakened and to rise with new strength in a new season in the mission I have destined for you. You have walked through trials, you have seen restoration, you have felt love and grace, and now you are called to live fully for the eternal purpose. Do not delay any longer. Do not let the past bind you, for I have opened a new door before you, and all you need is the courage to step through it. This is the time to lift your eyes, place your heart in my hands, and offer a prayer from the depths of your soul so that transformation will no longer remain a promise but become reality in your life. And now let us turn our hearts together in prayer. Lord, I lift to you my fragile heart and the wounds that remain. Please heal and renew me, that I may walk in the true freedom that only you can give. Lord, I ask you to pour out upon me an unfailing source of love so that I may forgive, so that I may love, so that I may live in harmony and become an instrument of that love to many others. Lord, grant me a steadfast faith that I may not fear trials nor grow weary in waiting, but remain faithful in walking the path you have laid before me. Lord, I ask that you give me a renewed mind and a heart filled with hope, so that I may not look upon life through the lens of failure, but through the light of grace and restoration that you have brought forth. Lord, teach me to sacrifice to place the interests of your kingdom above personal ambitions, that my life may become a living offering lifted up to you each day with every breath I take. Lord, I pray that you guide me in the mission you have appointed. Give me the courage to step beyond the boundaries of comfort, to walk in obedience, and to become a light to the world, so that through my life many may come to know you as the living God. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we may build a strong and thriving community of faith.